These few days have been painful for many of us, not only for the passing of a dear member of the family, my eldest brother, Dr. Toh Chin Chye, or Toh, as he was known to the Toh siblings, but the painful realization that life is finite. And an important reminder that as we travel this road, blessed are the ones who had opportunities to touch other lives positively.
To many Singaporeans, the late Dr. Toh Chin Chye was the founding chairman of the PAP and a member of the Old Guard. To Professor Toh Chui Gate, Dr. Toh Chin Chye was her beloved older brother who was a role model and a man of integrity. At Dr. Toh's funeral service at the Mandai Crematorium on Tuesday, Professor Toh came together with family, friends and guests like Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong in sharing their memories of Dr. Toh.
I knew my grandfather made many contributions to Singapore and was one of the founding fathers of this nation. However, I did not realize how many lives he touched until this week.
I understand that when the late Mrs. Toh suffered a stroke, he instituted a daily exercise routine throughout the day for her and personally saw to it that she did not miss out any of the exercises. Through his vigilance, she recovered quickly. He was a caring husband and a doting father to his late daughter, Ai Chu.
I first knew Dr. Toh as a young boy. Dr. Toh would visit Oxley Road, and my parents would also bring me and my siblings along when they visited Dr. Toh where he lived. His home was a flat in the university quarters at Nassim Road. It's gone now. He was not yet married then and had no children of his own, but he was always generous and very kind to us.
The funeral procession started in the morning on Tuesday at Greenview Crescent, and neighbours of the late Dr. Toh lined the road to bid a final farewell to one of the founding fathers of Singapore. Dr. Toh, who passed away at the age of 90, was accorded the honour of being born on the ceremonial gun carriage. The national flag was draped on his coffin, a fitting tribute as he had helmed the team who came up with the design of the flag. The ceremonial gun carriage arrived at Mandai Crematorium at 11 a.m. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, President Tony Tan Keng Yam, ministers, MPs, friends and family members turned up at the Mandai Crematorium on Tuesday morning for the funeral service of the late Dr. Toh Chin Chye. Delivering eulogies at the service were Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, former PAP MP Mr. Loh Ming See, Dr. Toh's brother and sister and eldest grandchild Matthew Ng.
Dr. Toh's passing is another sign that our founding generation, both leaders and ordinary citizens, are gradually fading away. Singapore is well into a post-independence era. The present generation has benefited tremendously from what the founding generation did. But without the personal experience of how we got here, the battles and blows, the excitements and disappointments, the unforgettable memories and the indelible lessons that those critical years in our history impressed on the people fortunate enough to live through them. Dr. Toh's passing reminds us of how we got here, how much we owe to him and his generation, and how heavy a responsibility we have to carry their vision and our vision forward and take Singapore higher and further into a brighter future. May Dr. Toh Chin Chye rest in peace.
Sharing that Dr. Toh would have become a Jesuit priest had he not won a scholarship to further his studies, former MP for Jalan Besar, Mr. Loh Ming See, recalled an incident which spoke volumes of Dr. Toh's character.
Dr. Toh is a humble man. the late Mr. Sim Kee Boon, then chairman of Keppel Corporation, wanted to provide Dr. Toh with a company car and a driver for his position as senior advisor. I was then Keppel's group personnel director. I spoke to Dr. Toh about it. He said he was happy with his Honda Accord, wants to drive on his own, enjoys the independence and mobility. He also confided that when he was no longer the advisor, he would be without the car and the driver. Dr. Toh did not take things for granted.
After the eulogies, Dr. Toh's son-in-law, Mr. Johnny Ng, laid a wreath on behalf of the family. This was followed by a minute's silence. Family members then proceeded to the viewing gallery as Singapore bade a final farewell to one of our founding fathers and a pillar of the nation.